Body. Alright. So we're continuing. Baby body. Come here. Come here, baby body. He's on the floor. Continue. The player was created Jinx. Okay, we already know that. The player was continued. The adventure continues in episode 2. Previously on The Last Door. Wakefield and Kaufman followed the only clue they had on Devitt's location, the recipient of Anthony's disturbing letter, Alexander Dupre. Wakefield visited the East Hill Asylum to gather some information on Dupre's past. Wakefield discovered that Dupre was the leader of a secret society known as the Playwright. He learned that they practiced rituals with the goal of peering through the veil, the line that separates the common world from an outer void full of horrors. One of East Hill's patients turned out to be a member of the Playwright, but she escaped the asylum. Wakefield and Kaufman followed her to her hideout, a cabin in the mountains, when suddenly a big flock of birds appeared. I must forget nothing. What? Does he look familiar? Everything must be set. What am I doing? What is he doing, I should say? Oh, here we go. When the time comes... and I am visited again. Bodhi just spooked himself. Give me a Bodhi. For a moment the sky was dark. Uh-oh, I clicked off of it. We heard the calls of 1,000 birds, but another sound rose above them. A sound I cannot describe. Oh, she didn't make it. What? What just happened here? Where's Miss Conhay? We are too late. So, quick backstory for those of you who have missed any of it. So, Wakefield is this guy who we're ended up playing. I don't remember this guy's name. They're both psychiatrists, but this particular psychiatrist has been dabbling in the occult, and we're trying to figure out what the hell happened to Wakefield's patient, Devitt. The windows are covered with wooden planks. It looks as if she was trying to keep someone from entering, or something from getting out. It is ashes. Chalk, a circle drawn hastily on the floor. She thought it could prevent what she knew was about to happen, but she was wrong. I do not know what to make of all this. I do. Are you all right, Kaufman? It is nothing, mon Freund. Just a bit of a cold. Now, mein Freund, I think we should talk. In light of the events we've recently witnessed, the matter cannot be delayed any further. You must make an important decision. It is not yet too late to go back to our daily lives. If you do not want to continue, you must forget all about your patient, Jeremiah Devitt. You will have to keep to yourself everything you have learned about the mystery of his disappearance and never talk about it again. But should you wish to continue this search, you will need to accept the consequences, whatever they may be. Please do not take this decision lightly. The path ahead is not without peril. You know my answer already, Kaufman. I must know what happened to Devitt. So be it then. As you may have already realized, this matter involving a patient transcends the limits of psychiatry as we know it. We are not dealing with the effects of trauma or the demons of the subconscious, at least not in the terms we are used to. We are dealing with something old, something dark. A sinister truth that has been buried deep for generations. This man, Alexander Dupre, and his organization, I think they discovered to uncover these secrets, and I fear they might have already. Miss Coney's fate, whatever it was, must be somehow related. But my knowledge of this area is simply not sufficient. We must pay a visit to an old friend, someone I never thought I would want to see again. The man who introduced me to the extended scientific field of the occult. My mentor, Professor Adam Wright. Season 2, Episode 2, My Dearest Visitor. Wickport at Wright Manor. I doubt he is away at this time of day. Perhaps he cannot hear us from the front. Let us try the back door. Oh my. The back door. Don't. Mrs. Oakwood. She is the manor's housekeeper. Yes, who is it? Good morning, Mrs. Oakwood. Don't you remember me? Why, Dr. Kaufman, bless my soul. It's been so long I hardly recognize you. How nice to see you again. Allow me to introduce my colleague, John Wakefield. Is the professor at home? We would like to see him. Why, yes, doctor, of course. I am quite forgetting myself. Let me take you to him. It is really good of you to come. He receives so few visitors these days on account of his condition. His condition? Oh, sir, I'm right sorry. I thought you knew. The professor, he suffers from an ailment afflicting his brain. He is now entirely confined to his bed. Oh, it's the same guy that was in the mine shaft in the prologue. Professor Wright, you have visitors. One of them is your old friend. Look, do you recognize him? It is Johann, Professor, your old pupil. Johann Kaufman, that's him. I reckon he does remember you, Johann. It has been a long time since I have seen him so excited. I will leave you two to talk to the professor. It may be difficult to keep him on one subject for long, but oh, it does him such a world of good to speak with old friends. Should you need my assistance, I will be in the backyard. Professor? Uncle James, you are back. It is I, Professor, Johann Kaufman. Where is father? Where has he been taken? He suffers from some kind of memory loss. Yes, I am afraid he will not tell us much in this state. If we could but stimulate his memories, maybe then he could tell us of his research, something to unravel the mystery of the playwright. Perhaps. We have few other options in any case. Let us try. Why didn't you explore the banner? There may be some object we can use to jog the professor's memory. Meanwhile, I will try and talk to him about the time we researched together. That could also help him remember. Professor Wright? Father, why must you spend so much time away? Father. Professor Wright's gaze remains fixed on the window as though he were waiting for someone. The snow is falling outside, slow and silent. Oh, now I wonder, what if I had stayed? A large wardrobe of engraved wood. Please, Professor, talk to me. Daddy, why are you gone so much? A painting of the ocean at the end of the afternoon. There is a figure in black on the beach, but its face is shrouded by a hood. Of course it is. A lamp provides a soft glow that somehow lacks warmth. An oil painting. It shows an obscure medieval scene. one? An engraving on paper. The script is from a language unknown to me. It's locked. The sign on the door reads attic. Who puts a sign on their doors? A gilded pipe. It runs from the floor to the ceiling. Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. A large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. Anything else? A common radiator. Bathroom. An old stone tower is depicted in the painting. Thorned vines have slithered across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade that seems to almost come alive when stared at for too long. It won't open. Alzheimer's patients? No. Portrait of Professor Wright. His appearance was quite different back then, an imposing, inquisitive figure. It's locked. A sea landscape. Wait, what's this? A gilded pipe. It runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. So that's the pipe that goes into the bathroom. Here, buddy. A gilded pipe. It runs from the ground to the corridor. So it goes over here, all the way down there. Cast iron wood stove. I have a feeling we're going to have to make use of the pipe. A bread oven. Ah. Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. Take something! The door is locked shut. A small sign reads basement. What is she doing? Is she just shoveling snow? May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. How did the professor become afflicted? The ailment runs in his family. Mr. Wright suffers from it, as did his father and grandmother before him. It is truly a terrible thing, and to think all these years Mr. Wright knew what would become of him. May God have pity on his poor soul. This ailment that runs in Professor Wright's family, do you know what its symptoms are? Well, I can't speak those very long words physicians use, but I can tell you what I see in him. Professor Wright hardly remembers a thing from the last 40 years. It is like he is a child again. With God's mercy, it has now gone so far that it torments him no longer. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. A thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. Same. This oak tree looks ancient, probably older than the manor itself. The fuck? The queen has removed her mask. There's an empty hole where her face should be. The statue portrays a clergyman hiding his face behind a mask. There's something in that vase. The central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. The vessel has a small hole in it, just large enough to see a metal object hidden inside. Can we get it? No. We're gonna have to have something push it out. The sage has removed his mask. There's an empty hole where his face should be. The statue portrays a peasant woman with her face hidden by a mask. When the four remove their masks of lies, the path to the grave will be cleared. I was hoping to beat this today, but my lip is hurting. I bit it over the weekend when I was, like, eating. I did one of those on my lower lip, and it hurts to talk. There's a strange ornament on the wall. I think I can remove it. Keep that until we figure out what it does. Fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Wait, this one is a fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Its head is missing. Oh wait, no, that's to leave the manor. The main door is closed from the inside. No. We don't have anywhere else to go right now. Let's unlock the front door, because I don't feel like having to, like, traipse all the way around. There was nothing on that table, right? No. The gilded pipe is going into the basement. Oh, that's not the front door. Professor Wright has an eclectic collection, from old adventure novels to treatises on the occult sciences. Some of these titles, I believe, have been forbidden by the Crown. A tin soldier. It looks to have been painted by hand. It commemorates some military campaign that I have not heard of. Could it hold some special significance to Professor Wright? Perhaps it will help stimulate his memories. A painting of the cliffs of this region. The fire burns fiercely, rendering the air thick and heavy in the room. A globe. The surface is extraordinarily detailed. Judging by the strange shape of the continents, this must derive from a fictional work or some prehistoric era. Oh. You can press them down, but... Oh, shoot. Frickin' hell, Steam's open in the background, and I keep touching it. It's locked. I can hear the racket of many birds on the other side. A porcelain jar containing some dried branches. That's the front door. An enormous painting showing a torrential river and the waves splashing on the banks. In the background, I can see an old church apparently abandoned. An antique ceiling lamp. All I've really got is this one toy soldier. A tin soldier decorated in the colors of the British Army. It is highly detailed for such a tiny figure. It appears to commemorate a military campaign. This tin soldier appears to commemorate a military campaign. Perhaps it could jog the professor's memories. Yes, this could work, mein Freund. Why don't you show it to him? Do you recognize this Professor Wright? Sergeant Downing was sent to the front. The man that returned was not Sergeant Downing. My dearest visitor, he will know where to look. Oh, what a time we will have. Your visitor? What do you mean, Professor? He will have seen the map, and he will know the Book of Travels. The Book of Travels. Yes, yes, he will work it out, but it must not be too easy, no, but he will find the prize, I am sure. Prize? What on earth is he talking about, Kaufman? Something concealed, something precious. In his addled state, could he have hidden away parts of his research? He was always a proud man. He would not easily have forgotten his most groundbreaking work. A sense of its grave importance, at least, would have remained. In his confusion, perhaps he hid it away somewhere for this dearest visitor of his to find. Why don't you explore the manor? Perhaps something will relate to these latest ramblings. Meanwhile, I will continue my endeavors to revive his memory through conversation. Library. My guess is the library, there's probably a Book of Travels in there. And has to relate to the globe. There's a large volume here quite worn. It is an illustrated edition of the Travels of Marco Polo. Perhaps it's the Book of Travels that Professor Wright mentioned? There's a mark on one of the pages. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert, always facing the setting sun. Hold on. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north in dear hope of reaching our home soon. It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan. Oh my god. So we were forced to return as we had come. We never set foot on that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to the south where we could find a boat. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. Puzzle book. Okay, the order. We began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert. Always facing the setting sun. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north in dear hope of reaching our home soon. So did we go here, here, here? It was not to be. The king of the land we traversed had declared war on the great Khan, so we were forced to return as we had come. We're supposed to be... Wait. Am I supposed to go like this, and then back down? We never set foot in that bloody land again. We knew there was a port just a few miles to the south where we could find a boat. Oh, shit. Our sea voyage was short, as our sails billowed with the powerful southern winds. We reached the most eastern cape.
Excuse me, Daddy.
This?
Daddy. I was requesting this per stream.
Because he's meowing?
Yeah.
And being noisy?
He was once per stream.
He's being a noisy little kitty?
Once per stream.
Hi, buddy. Buddy D. Hey, buddy D. The body D. Hi, buddy. The body. He's the body. What you looking at? You're trying to go after stuff on my desk. You're not getting it. It's like he sees the little the chapstick bomb thing, and he's all like, "But I can play with that." He's like staring at it. No, he keeps trying to get out of my arms to go after it. Hey, buddy, do you want to go in the window? Hey, darling kitty. Okay. I think I'm getting this wrong, by the way. We reached the easternmost cape and landed there. Our backs to the sea, we marched forth and soon reached home. Began our journey by crossing the unforgiving desert. At last we arrived at the merciful sight of the great ocean. We followed the coast north, went back, always facing the setting sun. So west. We're forced to return as we had came. We never set foot in that blood. We knew there was a port just a few miles to the south. Okay, you know what? I think it's... Hold on. I think it's... Traveled across, got here, went up the coast, said no. Wait, shit. Wants his lips unchapped too. Poor Bodhi. Traveled the desert, hit the coast, traveled along the coast north, had to go back the way we came. Did we go south after that? Knew there was a port just a few miles to the south. Then here. There we go. It seems I've triggered a hidden mechanism. A small compartment has opened in the globe. There's a sealed letter inside. It is simply addressed to my dearest visitor. Kaufman needs to see this before it is opened. Need to pull my mouse down further. Kaufman, look, I found an envelope. It was hidden inside a globe that a strange mechanism opened. To my dearest visitor, let us see what is inside. Exactly, this is another part of an intricate riddle, but to what purpose? To conceal something, perhaps, or just the last acts of a confused and drowning mind. I am increasingly of the opinion that this is some mental construct, some riddle conjured up by the professor's failing mind. He may not have even understood what he hid. Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. Do we have to heat up the bathroom and then look in the mirror? A riddle, and who would that visitor be? That is unknown to me, mon Freund. There's only one way to answer that question. If we can find the answer to the professor's riddle, perhaps we will be able to solve this mystery. Common radiator. Large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported. Can I do anything here? Those seeking wisdom must first know their own foolishness. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. Reflect on yourself, said the riddle, and the cold eye of logic sees not. Could there be something here hidden somehow? Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. Common radiator. The radiator would be turned on from the basement. cast iron wood stove. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. Do you know, is the professor fond of puzzles or riddles? Indeed, yes. He has long been an enthusiast of every mind game you can imagine. In better days, he would host parties every other month. Themed soirees, he called them. Oh, those were good times. It seems long ago now. I will leave you to your work. Thank you for your assistance. Have a good day, Dr. Wakefield. Can I get in there? The door is locked shut. A small sign reads basement. Well, glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. There's a matchbox here, too. Grab it. I may need these matches later on. Can I light this? So it doesn't go into the basement. I like how the matches didn't vanish out of our inventory after we used them. Turn on the radiator? Common radiator. Large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported on 4 blackened iron feet. Thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. Though I see myself in the mirror, the reflection is strangely distorted. Gilded pipe, it runs from the floor to the ceiling. Lock. The sign reads attic. Better than Izig's typical hog items because the match didn't vanish. Pretty much. None of these are open, right? Locked. Can I talk to her about this? Cast iron wood stove. May I ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood? Of course, Doctor. No. Is there anything out here? Well, I turned that on. Cast iron wood stove. Gilded pipe. It runs from the ground to the corridor. Bread oven. Gilded pipe. It runs from the room at the end of the corridor to the room upstairs. I'm wondering if there's a valve we have to turn on. Runs from the floor to the ceiling. Just burn the house down. Just be done with it. It's locked. The sign on the door reads attic. Shit. Only by answering the riddle can we hope to solve this mystery. A large wardrobe of engraved wood. Is there any other keys? My dearest visitor will find the prize, I have no doubt. Matches on the mirror? I could try that. Large porcelain tub, its hefty weight supported by 4 blackened iron feet. A thin ring of damp residue around its interior suggests recent use. You wouldn't use this on the radiator, right? No, because the radiator's water. Fire burns fiercely, rendering the thick air heavy in this room. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal what the cold eye of logic sees not. Do I need to actively, like, go and close the door to the bathroom? Was there an option to close that door? Porcelain tub, common radiator. Let's go and check the library again. Maybe there's a book or something. Heat of passion. Maybe we need a romance novel. Ooh. There's a volume here. It's illustrated the travels of Marco Polo. Just an empty compartment. Huh. What about the button out in the front of the manor? That seems a little odd, but we can check it. Tower or that? Queen has removed her mask as an empty hole where her face should be. Statue portrays a peasant woman. Sage has removed his mask. This oak tree looks ancient, probably older than the manor itself. Am I supposed to show the matches to Kaufman? That would seem really weird. An old teapot. Ooh, take it! It's filled with cold water. Steam up the mirror with this. I thought you had to steam up the whole bathroom by, like, filling the bathtub, but I guess not. The water will cool soon, so move quick. You're timed. You're either timed or it's the number of rooms you go through. Reflect on yourself in the heat of passion to reveal knowledge that the cold eye of logic sees not. Condensation from the teapot's steam has revealed a hidden message. I'll add this clue to the letter. Knowing yourself, you may look upon your master, meet his imposing gaze, and seek to understand what lies beneath. Thereby learn the question, if not the final answer. What lies beneath? Maybe the basement? Curiously, the message remains visible even though the condensation has evaporated. Oh, steam up the mirror? You thought you said steam up paneer? Oh my fucking god. Only by answering the riddle can we hope to solve this mystery. Look upon your master, meet only his imposing gaze, but seek not to understand what lies beneath. As I suspected, there's a small key taped to the back of the picture frame and a note. I'll add this clue to the letter. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. The world from the peak of man's tallest tower. Okay, button outside and then the old tree is my guess. Now you want curry? I was gonna make curry again this week, I think. This oak tree looks ancient, probably older than the manor itself. The question is the world from the peak of man's tallest tower. The answer yearns up to it from the root of life and time itself. What is this? A faded golden key. Does the key possibly go to the basement or the attic? Well, let's try it on every door. Key does not fit this keyhole. We're gonna try the attic. Yep. A shelf covered in old ornaments, pieces of metalwork, and pipes of strange shapes. Some kind of round mechanism. An unusual electrical device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I can tell that there is a piece of equipment missing. Oh, that's the same thing. The statue portrays a clergyman hiding his face behind a mask. Statue portrays a sage hiding his face behind a mask. Statue portrays a peasant woman with her face hidden behind a mask. Okay, I get it. I vaguely get it. This controls one of those statues. Face behind a statue portrays a queen with her face hidden behind a mask. So the queen's face is hidden behind a mask here. Oops. Because when I do that, then the queen is gonna not be hidden, right? Yep. Queen has removed her mask. The answer yearns up to it from the very root of life and time itself. I should check if there's something hidden near that tree. This way. My god, this is the longest way. Shouldn't have gone this way. I kept thinking, oh, this will be quick. No. Out this way. I guess I had to look at the tree from up there for him to actually want to do this. It looks as though something has been concealed beneath the thick roots. Another note and a key bound together. I'll add this clue to the letter. It is a truth our ancestors knew and with stone silence came to unknow. Why is truth capitalized? This key has been engraved with the shape of a feather. It's that one room with the birds. Yeah, the front door mechanism controls the other. So this front door mechanism needs to be on this. Goody birds. Does no one feed them? Inside the cage, there's a bird with a black head and orange breast. The sign reads, Perula Perula. A truth that our ancestors knew and through stone silence came to unknow. There's a small compartment in the base of the bust. Inside this, a note. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror... Primal horror? Basement? Inside the cage, there's a crow with black and gray feathers. The sign reads Corvus Cornix. Inside the cage, there is a small bird with black and white wings and a feathered crest. The sign reads Upupa Epops. This bird is black with a yellow beak. On the sign, its cage reads Turtus Marula. The bird inside has a gray breast and brown wings. Passer domesticus. Curious bird with long legs. The sign on the cage reads Porphyrio eleni. There's a bird with a pale brown breast inside this cage. The sign reads Lucinia megarhinchus. A bird with red feathers on its head and breast. Erythicus rubicula. An embroidered cloth covers this cage. On it is written, if the birds are silent, the phrase trails off. The bird inside this cage has yellowish-brown feathers. The sign on the cage reads Cardulus flavirostris. The bird inside grows suddenly quiet. It is a truth our ancestors knew and with stone silence came to unknow. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Corvus Cornix. Upupa Epops. Turtus Marula. What are the chances that one of these birds needs to be silenced? But I need to know which bird it is. Ugh. Turtus Marula. Passer domesticus. Porphyrio eleni. Lucinia megarhinchos. Carduelis, Butta, Erythicus, Rubella. Here. Just... The bird grows suddenly quiet. Carefully embroidered cloth, the beginning of a phrase is written on it. If the birds fall silent. Bird suddenly grows quiet. It's really weird. What was the next one? Only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. Cover the cage and set a bird on fire. It sounds horrible. There's no way. Psychiatrist is all like, let me cover the cage of one of these birds and just, like, set it on fire. That'll go over well. No, this is only going to tell us about that one book. I don't know if it'll ever tell us about any other book. Primal Horror. The cloth on him. I feel like I have to do something else. That door's not open, right? Nothing. Okay. What about the cloth? What about this? Basement. Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spice and pickled food. The only way to make all the birds silent is by making the room dark, right? Primal horror would be darkness. Is there a way to, like, just cover up the windows in that room? Hydrate? I could do that. Like, this blanket's not large enough to cover the windows. Hydrate, warrior. To the glass see rolling hills covered in snow. Erythicus rubicula. Thus of the Greek philosopher Anaxagoras. Who? Try covering the bust, as stupid as that seems. I'm not sure what else to do with this. Unless I'm supposed to do something in the attic now. Is there drapes anywhere that I can just tear down? I don't think so. Just tearing down drapes at this point. Shelf covered in old ornaments, pieces of metalwork, and pipes of strange sizes. Central statue portrays a cloaked figure holding a clay vessel. Sage has removed his mask. Peasant woman has her face hidden. Ancient oak tree is the tallest tree on the grounds. You just imposing gaze and seek to understand what lies beneath. And then you will be ready to climb to the tallest heights and from there look down to the deepest roots. It is a truth our ancestors knew and with stone silence came to unknow, that only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror. What are the gnashing jaws of primal horror? The dearest visitor will find the prize, I have no doubt. Large wooden wardrobe engraved with wood. Cover him with a blanket. Is it another painting? Painting of the ocean. Primal horror, primal horror. Engraving on paper, the script is from a language unknown to me. Oil painting shows an obscure medieval scene. Old tower is depicted in the painting. Thorn vines have silhouetted across the entrance, forming a swarming blockade that almost seems to come alive when stared at for too long. Enormous painting showing a torrential river and waves splashing on the banks. In the background, you can see an old church apparently abandoned. Did I ever look over here? Porcelain jar containing some dried branches. Gimme. A sea landscape. Aye. Thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. Nothing but a few small plants withered from the morning frost. This is a whole different one. I don't think any of this has to do with anything right now. Stiff tree, almost like a statue itself. Set it on fire. Damn it. Trying to think. Gnashing jaws of primal horror. A bread oven. Cast iron wood stove. Can I get into the basement? Door locked shut. A small sign reads the basement. If the birds fall silent. Wait a minute. That only by entering the gnashing jaws of primal horror if the birds fall silent? Doesn't seem right, but sea landscape. None of these pictures. Large porcelain tub, common radiator. Thought I saw something for a second. No, it's just the gilded pipe runs from the floor to the ceiling. Wait, it runs to the ceiling. Where is it coming from over here, then? Well, let's fuck around with this. This has the gilded pipe going to it, right? Unusual electrical device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I could tell you there's a piece of equipment missing. Definitely can't make use of this. It's this thing, the lever or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm a little at a loss here. If the birds fall silent. Am I supposed to, like, put the birds, make the birds silent in a certain order? That seems really, really weird. Painting of the cliffs of this region. Probably a long stretch, but would setting the statues to be closed on the face do something in the bird room? I don't know. Let's find out. They did give us the ability to affect the two that are currently showing their faces. I mean, it's not that long of a stretch. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, but at the same time... Nope, not that one. Check the pictures in here real quick. Nope. Definitely didn't quite make them silent. The glasses see rolling hills covered in snow. Porphyrio Eleni. Passer domesticus. Tertus marula. Small bird with black and white wings and a feathered crest. The sign reigns of Pupa epops. Corvus cornix. Passer domesticus. Fire burns fiercely, rendering the air thick and heavy in the room. Painting of the cliffs. I mean, you can always look it up, too, to see what it would be. And, try to hint me in the right direction if you want. Only by entering the gnashing jaws of Primal Horror. Never mind. It's the statue. Something hid in the lion's mouth, a lever. I think it has triggered some mechanism inside the manor. There's also a note in here. I'll add this clue to the lever. Will you at last know truth? Could this be the last part of the riddle? Something opened. Fierce lion damaged by the harsh weather of the coast. Its head is missing. I'm gonna go grab that cloth back. Could the basement be unlocked or something? Could always ask Kaufman. I mean, if the door is suddenly unlocked, I think she would have noticed and been like, holy shit. Go outside. Thick layer of ice covers the pool of water. It's locked. Back with corned beef. Corned beef? That's a weird Halloween food. It won't open. Beef. Only by answering the riddle can we hope to solve this mystery. A gilded pipe runs from the strange device through the floor below. Can we grab the leather from the lion's mouth? Statue portrays a woman with her face hidden by a mask. Clergyman with his face behind a mask. Central statue portrays a cloaked fish holding clay, whatever. What happened when we pressed that? A secret passageway is opened at the end of the corridor. This looks like Professor Wright's archive. I should bring Kaufman here at once. Experiments, 1885. Let us see. Have a look at this. Be careful. There's a small key inside the folder. 1st of August, 1885. Results at last. After many months of tedious observation, something has finally come from the other side. I heard the sound of footsteps exploring the proximity of the stone archway. This would seem to verify my hypothesis. Absolute horror is the key to that we seek. 20th September 1885. Now that they have proven themselves useful, I have installed 2 new devices in the outer tunnels. I dare not go deeper. I have not heard it again, but I know the thing must still be down there in the dark. 12th of November 1885. Containment in the underground tunnel has been breached. Blank gone. 15th December 1885. I have no choice but to abort the experiment. It can no longer be controlled. There is but one thing left to do. I will see the tunnel and hope that the abomination remains forever entombed within. What is this supposed to be? It seems to be a log that the professor kept during one of his experiments almost 7 years ago. It is noteworthy that one of the entries has been redacted. But what is written there? It cannot be true. It must be some kind of hallucination. A sign of Professor Wright's illness, maybe. Perhaps, though we should not jump to conclusions. We can conclude that the professor had another working place underground. Perhaps the key opens the basement door. There could be a route through to this underground tunnel. Meanwhile, I will keep looking through these documents. There must be something more than that folder among this mess. I'm sorry, you're sending us where? Piles of papers of all kinds, discarded notes, letters, receipts, all mixed up. Many folders, they have no distinctive tag on them. Some shredded paper appears to have been notes. A long series of folders with dates on them in complete disarray. A set of framed silhouettes. Under each is an inscribed plaque. Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Barleys, and so he proposed to her. What is my phone doing? Oh. Hold on. Fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. There's a switch at the bottom. Oh my god. I'm going to put this all the way over here so it doesn't bug the microphone, hopefully. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. I think we have to move these around. Oh. Mrs. Bartley never did take her eyes off her daughter and watch them at all times. Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. Okay, so this is... Mr. Strachan was a well-positioned man. He fell madly in love with the younger daughter of the Bartleys, and so he proposed to her. Young Agnes fancied the idea of marrying an older man, but she always hid her feelings from her mother. Mrs. Bartley never did take her eyes off her daughter and watch them at all times, so she's looking. Mr. Bartley tried to show his support for their daughter, but his wife never paid any attention to him. A compartment is opened in the wall. I still need some time here. Why don't you check if that key opens the door to the basement? There could be an entrance to the underground tunnel mentioned by the professor. I think that just undid one of the masks. Which one? Here. Clergyman has removed his mask. Statue portrays a sage hiding his face behind a mask. I need to undo the sage's face behind the mask. That's the one in the front of the house. My dearest visitor will find the prize, I have no doubt. Large wardrobe of engraved wood. Open this. There. Let me ask you something, Mrs. Oakwood. Oh. Oh, he did have something. Of course. Did Professor Wright work in the basement? Did he ever work in the basement? In the basement? Mr. Wright said, no, You must excuse me, Dr. Wakefield. I'm very busy right now. Have a good day. What? Can I have a lamp down here? It's completely dark in here. I feel a cold draft coming from the front. It's too dark. I need to bring out I need a what? I need to bring something to light the way. I mean, I have... Where's a lamp? Various ingredients. Glass jars filled with spices and pickled food. Am I supposed to just take a dried stick and light it? It seems a little... not great. I mean, you could use a match, but... because you know Hollywood and matches. Antique ceiling lamp. Porcelain jar containing dried branches. Nope. We got matches, though. Yeah, but... I'm wondering if the game's going to do the Hollywood thing of a single match is perfectly fine, or if it's going to do the reality thing of fuck your ability to see shit with a single match. He can. He has a single match. Oh god, this is horrible. This is shit. This is absolute shit. It doesn't last long. He's gonna run into something horrible, isn't he? I've run out of matches. What is going on? A lantern. I've fallen through a hole. Where am I? The flow of air is stronger here. Looks like a component of some sort of machine. Maybe I can find out where to use it. Yeah, in the frickin' attic. A working lantern. Now I can get out of here safely. This part of the tunnel is blocked by a cave-in. That's where the thing is. That's where he locked the prologue. That's what he was doing in the prologue, was he was causing the cave-in. The underground tunnel is not accessible from here. I should go back. Thank goodness, a ladder. Thank you.
This is all you get.
No. Oh no. It's a mechanism of some sort. Do I want to do this before I do the thing in the attic? That's an open door symbol. I don't like this. Old furniture has been left here to rot. We cannot access the tunnel mentioned in Professor Wright's log. How can we find the missing parts of his research? I must talk to Kaufman about this. Your cap has decided it's lap time? Yes. I was able to use the key to explore the basement. There's a large hole in the floor. One side of the hole may lead to some sort of tunnel, but it was completely covered in rocks and debris, so I could not tell for sure. Covered in debris, it sounds as if the professor succeeded in blocking the entrance to this underground area. It is unfortunate for us. I've made some progress of my own, mein Freund. I think this could help us delucidate the next step in our research. Have a look. What? Today a meeting finally took place. You see, Mr. Wright, our organization is keenly interested in your research. We could reach an agreement to fund this project, but first we need to know the details. I understand. The main factor is the condition of the test subject, how open he is to suggestion. As you know, only the human mind can open a physical passage to the other side. So a complete, absolute darkness will be required for the experience to result. A secluded place, completely isolated. A place that can only bring thoughts of what may be hiding in the dark. I have the perfect location in mind. But in total darkness and seclusion, how could the results of the experiment be studied or confirmed? That is precisely where your organization can provide help. I have designed a special device that would allow me to listen from a safe distance, but I lack the means to manufacture it myself. That we could arrange. But there is one last thing I would like to know. That's the thing that's in the attic, I'm betting. How would the experience be triggered? By means of a chemical compound of some time? Do you mean a serum? Not at all. That would be of no elegance whatsoever. The trigger is the mind itself, the emotion known as terror. The primal fear that still survives in the depths of our mind from the times humans were mere beasts. That which allows us to open a physical passage beyond the veil of rational thought. Primal terror is the key that we will use to open the last door. Could this organization be the playwright? It may be, mein Freund. If so, then we are closer to the truth than we thought. But in this room I have been able to find only some fragments of information, discarded material. It looks as if the main bulk of documents were moved from this room and hidden somewhere else. The basement tunnel. That seems the most reasonable conclusion. But access to that place is lost, is it not? The entrance was sealed. There may be another access that we do not know about. If we could find and use the device that the professor mentions in his log, I believe we could shed some light on this matter. Attic. Also, Isaac brought me a slice of pizza because that's my lunch. Because I ran out of my ability to make chicken wraps. And that makes me sad. This thing. An unusual device. I'm unfamiliar with its function, but I can tell that there's a piece of equipment missing. Yes, but... Lever? I think it will work now. This sound. Do my ears deceive me? Is that a piano melody? I must seek Kaufman at once. Not to state the obvious, but it sounds as if someone is still down there playing the piano of all things. How is that even remotely possible? I do not know, but this means something important to us. It means that there is another entrance to the underground tunnel, and we must find it. But we've run out of leads. You did not find anything of use in the archive, and Professor Wright continues to mutter incoherently about his childhood memories, and we haven't bothered to check the statue in the courtyard that has something in its vase. You must hypnotize the professor, mein lieber Freund. We are running out of options. This might be the only way to find the answers we seek. Look at this candle. Fix your eyes upon it. Your body is as light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Everything around you fades. You are entering a dark, endless void. Oh, hypnotize, not hypnotize. How did I not read that correctly? Listen to my voice. Where are you? Great number of trees surround me. The sun is setting soon. I can go north and west. Go north. I stand beside a waterfall. It's not the water that falls, but mud and rock from a great height. They fall and fall into a bottomless abyss. Behind the waterfall to the east lies a tunnel. To the west I see the edge of the forest. Go east? I'm in a dark tunnel. Oscar is here as well. He's upset. He yells at me. He begs me to stop. The tunnel divides into many passages. I can go north, south, and west. Go north. I'm in a large open space with a piano. Something stands next to the piano. I can't see it clearly. Its face. The tunnel stretches into the dark. Walk down the tunnel. It's a very small room. In the center lies a deep pit. A ladder goes down. It's so dark. Down there, it lies. It waits. I will not continue. I must go back. Go down the ladder. I cannot. I can hear it with me. Its breath. Dear God, I must flee. You must continue. It waits for me. It waits down there. I have gone down the ladder. I cannot see. It is pitch dark. I can feel its breath. It is here. It is with me. Enough. We went too far, mon Freund. You are right. I did not think he would react this way. You did well by stopping the trance, Kaufman. I think it would be best if we leave it for today. Let us return to the inn. Reflect tonight on what we have witnessed here. Tomorrow, let's discuss the next steps in our investigation. I didn't get the thing out of the statue, though. January 21st, 1893. This game is very hard to eat with. Come in. Kaufman, are you all right? Worry not, Wakefield. I am just feeling a bit feeble. I must be all this cold and humidity. Cough. Nothing serious. I would like to know your opinion about what we heard during yesterday's session. Do you remember anything that could help us in our search? I believe this underground tunnel has left a deep impression on Professor Wright's subconscious. I agree. The horror he experienced at the end of the session was far too intense to derive solely from his imagination. It speaks of some trauma. Seaside. The sea was a recurring theme during the hypnotic regression. Yes, it is true. Maybe the entrance to this tunnel is somewhere closer to the coast. Throughout the trance, he saw an unknown figure with no visible face, the floating body in the water, the person near the rocks, the one beside the piano. Yes, indeed, but I am afraid it is too soon to unveil the true meaning of those images. Professor Wright mentioned a man that shouted at him near the entrance of the tunnel, begging him not to continue. I cannot remember his name. Very good. It was Oscar. We should attempt to find him. He may know something about Professor Wright's fears. If we can find this man, I am sure we will shed some light upon the mystery. Why don't you go to the village and try to find out something about Oscar? My apologies, but I must stay here and recover my strength. Can I go back to the manor? Why? I should respect Kaufman's privacy. So we're not... The Fisherman's Lodge. I guess we're going in there? Search around here first. Window's closed shut. Snow all but covers the window. Evidently no one has been here to clear it in a very long time. It's too frosted over to see inside. Apparently we can go this way. An old rotting boat rests on the shore. The name Providence is written on the side. Some abandoned wooden planks. Perhaps they are here for the repair of local fishing boats. An old rusty bronze bell, typical of a seafaring vessel. It is engraved with the name Augustine. This old ship is completely wrecked. Okay. I have a feeling we skipped over something that was optional by not getting whatever was in that center statue. Also, I still have this cloth where it says, if the birds fall silent, and I never figured that out. You cannot cross the sea, hick. Merely by standing. An old poster of a local traditional sport. Good morning. Let me drink in peace. Are you a ship captain? Why, what's it to you? Does I look like a captain? Your coarse skin, your hands. Your 3 earrings. Your hat. Because of the hat you are wearing. Ha! A hat don't make a captain, Townie. You can buy a hat like this in any flea market in England. Because of your hands, calloused by years of knotting rope and reeling in line. Any fisherman has hands like these. Because of the 3 earrings you're wearing? You've doubled the 3 capes, is that right? Indeed I have. Good Hope, Leowin, and Horn. Therefore I hold the right to stand before kings and to piss against the wind. If I dies in the sea, these 3 rings will pay my wake. But no, that'll not happen now. What do you mean you will not set sail again? I love the sea more than anything. It is my passion, my freedom, and my life. But there are many things about him that we do not know. They are far from the coast in the deep dark, things we are still unprepared to behold. Believe me, those things await deep down. Have you seen any of those things? No, but you may have heard 1 or 2 of the stories the fishermen tell about things seen out there. It is not but tales for young'uns, mere superstition for men too cowardly to face the dark. Any good seaman knows that in the strong wind a stretched rope can shake and sing. I myself have mistaken such keening for the wail of a child. But there was one time it was not a thing of the sort. Then the sea howled. It was not thunder, not a strong wave clashing with my ship, no. It was like a voice. It spoke to me in a language I cannot describe. A sound muttered by a living something, a call unlike anything I had heard before. And I understood. What happened then? As I navigated back to shore, I lost control of my ship in a great storm. The rocks of the cliffs did the rest. I do not know where the remains of my dear Augustine ended up. It's right outside. With the passing of years and tides, I looked for them once for many moons, but all I have found was this bar in the bottom of an empty glass. I've never returned to the shore since. May she forgive me. Now leave me be. Your boat's outside. What did you understand? I understood there was no more freedom for me, that the sea now had other lords. And whoever they were, I did know they would not share it. I'll leave you alone. To your thoughts. You have the gratitude of me and my whiskey. All that blathering worked up a right sore thirst. Eldritch creature alert? That's rude of you to call an old man. This lady is dressed rather elegantly for someone who came to drink in a place like this. Old pictures of the village's inhabitants. Those two fishermen have just given me a suspicious look. Bottles of rum, dark beer, and a couple of taps of pale ale. Good morning. You want a drink? What is it with that man on the corner? Fred? You can ignore him. He's a sad, lonely drunk. Do you know a man called Oscar? You mean Father Oscar? You can find him in the church when he's not in here. It's right outside. I will leave you to your work. Godspeed. Actually, I want to talk to him. Have you met Professor Wright? The professor? Sure. Saw him every other day as a young'un, always involved in the village. He was la-di-da alright, but folk respected him. He got stuck in. Didn't last, though. Shut himself away, started getting visitors from out of town. He stopped coming to the village eventually. Last I heard, he'd gone crazy. None of us knows for sure, though. Been years since I saw him. I'll leave you to your work. Godspeed. I don't trust her. Wheel taken from the helm of a ship, perhaps a trinket from the owner's days as a ship's helmsman. Is there anything else here? Bottles of rum, dark beer, and a couple taps of pale ale. Face cam has gone a tad blurry. No! Hold on. Oh, geez, it did. Doesn't, that fix it? Yeah, it did. Okay. Usually turning it off and, like, telling OBS to stop using it and then turning it back on fixes it. Rude! There's a church there. This is the doors of the Church of Wickport. Go back to Augustine. You have become more HD. Someone may be able to tell me more about it. I can give it to the old man. Completely wrecked. Found your boat! You mess of a drunk. Why, that bell is from the Augustine. Why, Augustine? Where on earth did you find it? Outside. Found it on the beach near the shipwreck. I thought I would never see it again. I would clean it and make it shine anew. Wickport Beach? Our beach? Why, I must go. I must go straight away. Oh, to be reunited with my poor Augustine. What will remain of her? No, no, I dare not go. Oh, but I must. Good day to you, sir. You gonna take the bell with you? No? Okay. Wanna talk to me? You little bitch. I am healing the mentally injured by handing them things. Adventure games. There he is. Neither the cracks in your hull nor your flaking paint, none of it matters. You are beautiful as ever, Augustine. Today we will watch the sun set together. Good sir, I cannot put into words what a great service you have rendered this drunken knave. Just as you, a stranger, have brought me to my lost treasure, may this old sailor's spyglass in whatever way it can help light the way to yours. Take it. It is a gift from the heart. Okay. An old telescope. It's been rusted by the salt water, but it's in good condition. I'm telling you, there's something at the manor I missed. You put that bell somewhere? Leave him in pace. He's probably gonna jerk off to his boat. Like he's so happy with it. It is closed. Nah, shit. Oh, you know what? Damn it. Hello! Little fucker, bitch. Let's use this to peep into people's windows. It's okay, right? I wonder if you know when the church will open. I knocked on the door, but there was no answer. Church? Let me give you some advice. Barmaids ain't the people to ask about church opening hours. This here bar is my church. Most of the village will come to see things my way, too. We praise here these days. The whole village has forsaken the church, but why? The town is forsaken. No work on the coast these days, see? If you can make a living, most of the fishers and sailors have up and left. Half the cottages lie abandoned. Those who stayed, they barely leave their homes, except to come here, of course. But surely there must be more than just this. Many coastal towns face the same struggle, but none lie abandoned. Well, there's rumors. Silly stories, if you ask me, but some take them real serious. Fishers, big dependable guys, they'll tell you they've seen stuff out there on the water. Apparitions, shapes among the rocks. I say it's the booze talking, and I should know. Who could see anything in all that mist anyways? But fishers, they're superstitious. Folk believe the tales, and one by one, they just didn't come home no more. What can you tell me about Captain Morville? Does he come here often? Fred? He's a regular. Sad, lonely drunk. I'll leave you to your work. Godspeed. Cloth? Lantern? No? Alright. Window's closed shut. You wanna open up? Is it open back up? Or do I have to actually leave? I think I have to leave. Let me see if I can sneak up to it and be all like, hello, and just shove my face into it. Excuse me, are you spying on me? I'm sorry, I did not mean to. You're not from these parts, are you? No, I'm just passing through. Are you alright? Yes. Could you do me a favor? For a long time I've wanted to visit the tomb of my lover, but I cannot leave the house due to my illness. Could you please leave these flowers there? No one in this village will do this service for me. Alright, where is that place? Oh, you could not know how grateful I am. You're a good, kind person. You can go to the graveyard through that path right there. The name you need to look for is Carter. Oh. Why were you spying on me? Oh, do not put it like that. It sounds so terrible. I just watch folk passing by. I cannot leave the house, so I spend my days at the window. It is awful interesting. You learn a lot about people this way, you know. Really? What can you tell me about myself? I've only observed you for a while, but I could tell you were on an important mission, looking for someone dear. There's a worry over your shoulders, and a long way ahead of you. Well, that was remarkable. I'm frankly astonished. Let me see. What can you tell me about the barmaid? Eva is a woman with a strong character. Once I saw her kick out a group of drunk sailors from the pub without a doubt. She's in a bad mood lately because business is not what it used to be. She will not leave the village, though, as did the others. Let me see. What can you tell me about Captain Morville? Poor Fred is always drunk. In the old times, when he was not sailing, he had long walks on the beach and looked happy. But now rare is the occasion when he gives a quick glance at the coast. He has lost all hope. What can you tell me about Father Oscar? He's a man who has lost his purpose. I see him walking aimlessly in the morning and evening, nervous and doubtful. I should go. Thanks for everything and have a good day. Alright. We're gonna go to the graveyard real quick. Rose Carter. Bury my body with the salted driftwood, with the green seaweeds and the worn-out ropes where I can feel the cold autumn breeze. Gerald Bailey. Farewell to those of you that walk beside my grave. Here I lie, my name written on stone under the sun. Mary Jane Bennett. Do not bring flowers to this place, for rum is all I crave. Now I rest under the same stars I sailed by when alive. There's no name, date, or epitaph on this gravestone. The bells of the church. Seems the priest is calling mass. Well, we're gonna still go through here for a bit. A windswept old gnarly tree is clinging to the cliff with what roots remain. Someday it will fall into the ocean below. Well, hello, sir. Good morning, I am Dr. Wakefield. You come from the town, don't you? You needn't answer, I know by your accent. Be careful around these cliffs. This is no place for tourists. It's hardly a place for anyone now. That's why you're standing there. The man snorts. You best be on your way back. Strange things have been happening here. What do you mean? Seamen and fishermen alike swear to have heard voices on the rising tide. Inhuman screams, some of them say. And there are some who claim to have witnessed ungodly things in the dead of night. I once saw a ghastly thing crawling out of there amongst the rocks. People have heard screams coming from the sea. Bloody drunks. They say the sea howls at them as if that was something new. That thing, the one you saw on the rocks, can you tell me more about it? Late night it was on me a boat. Fishing, that's when I gets the best catch. Then I saw it, not under the water as the others say. It was on a rock, perched there like it was smelling for something. The shape of it like nothing I ever saw before, not walking on the earth nor swimming in the sea. The thing was big and hunched over like a crouching man. The way it moved, it made my flesh crawl. Whatever it was, the mist itself was its ally, hiding it from my bare eyes, and in the end disappearing away altogether. I swear, should I see that horror again, I will take my most vicious harpoon and thrust it so deep in its wretched body that they will have to bury them together. So what are you doing up here? I come here when I can to watch the shore, just in case that thing comes back. The mist down there is just too thick. I can see better from here, even if my eyes are not what they used to be. Damn it, if I could somehow regain my once sharp eyesight again. By God, I would impale that abomination for sure. Hey, you want a telescope for that? Here you go. Here, would this help you watch the shore? If you hadn't put on that shirt, I would never known it was Halloween. Halloween shirt. Well, it was old to be sure, but this telescope has been patched up to a rare beauty. You have my thanks, stranger. I am indebted. Oh, what is that? On the cliff there. Well, blow me, but if it isn't the Wright's old summer house. I thought it entirely destroyed. It looks like you can get there using the old cliff path. Excuse me, did you say the Wright summer house? Well, yes, I never saw it myself. I was too young at the time. But everyone around here knows the story well. It was a terrible tragedy, you see. One night there was a landslide just beneath the house. Most of the building fell sheer into the sea, leaving only yonder ruins. Many died, though, by a miracle. Young Master Wright was spared. You can see it from here. Look, right there on the other side of the beach. Do you see it? Take his cane. Will not waver in my determination to destroy that thing, not while this old body of mine endures. Take his cane. Should we talk to Oscar or just go to the house? I think we need to talk to Father Oscar. The house looks like kind of a sad duck. It does. I don't need to look at this again. I want to tell that person that we left the flowers if we can. It shouldn't close up for me. I left the flowers on your lover's grave as you asked. Thank you so much. I am in your debt. I should go. Shouldn't be anyone in here, I would think. Except for the priest. The window's been boarded up. Confessional. So Wickport serves a Catholic congregation. Humble altar made of unadorned marble. Good morning. Good morning, my son. What is the matter, Father? What has happened to your parishioners? Village has seen bleak times. Many have left and the rest have lost their faith. Every day I ring the bells, but no one answers. May God have mercy on their souls. Why do you suppose that is? I could not say. The mist that shrouds this coast and the shapes that swirl within have long been a source of hearsay, but lately the stories people tell are not of pirate smugglers, but of something more sinister. Some say the devil himself has come to our shore. It's a rumor I dare not disregard. Are you personally acquainted with Professor Wright? Why, of course. Well, yes, of course. Adam is, not merely a parishioner, but one of my closest friends. Since our youth, we enjoyed many scholarly but sometimes quite fervent discussions, he being an anthropologist and myself a theologian. That is until he fell ill. But since he is like that, I have not visited him. I must go, Father. Wait a moment, please. I need to ask you a small favor. Everyone wants a small favor. Please give this to Adam. I don't know if it will mean anything to him now, but it will bring peace to my soul if there is a token of our friendship resting by his side. It's a photo? Tell me I can go back to the manor. Tell me I can go... Yes! Oh, fucking yes! Picture of two young men. They could be Professor Wright and Father Oscar. This neglected and decaying cross reflects the faith of the villagers all too well. This way. Okay, we're going to Wright Manor first. Oh, thank God. We're going back here. Because all the statues should have been activated. There. Central statue has shifted its position. The clay vessel has fallen to the ground. Clay vessel held by the statue is now broken into many pieces. There's an object among them. It must have been hidden inside. Looks like a compass. It must be broken since it does not point north. Strange device. It cannot be a compass because it does not point north, but seemingly in random directions. When the four remove their mask of lives, the path to the grave will be cleared. It's pointing to the exits you need to take to get to that thing, I'm guessing. Main door is closed from the inside. I want to give him the picture since we're here. As long as the door's open. Swear to God, if she's dead and gone... Was this door open before? No, it wasn't. Cage covered with an embroidered cloth, the end of the phrase written on it, a visitor will call. When the birds are silent, a visitor will call. Coat stand. Simple wooden wardrobe, there's nothing of interest in here. There's a closed chest here. There's a key inside. Yellow key. I like how we just came back unannounced. We're just all like, yo, ma'am. Wait. What's going on? Why is the fire out? Fire is out. How did this happen? They move so slow when they have their lantern out. Go up. Won't open. Where does this key go? Large porcelain tub, its hefty weight, thin ring, blah blah blah. Why is this closed? Door is locked with a key. Professor Wright is not here. There's an open book on the floor. The Book of Birds. It's a compilation of legends related to birds. Some of the text has been marked. The birds were traveling to meet their king when they reached a crossroads. The wretched crow tried to lead them astray and onto the path of mists. Many birds followed him and were lost forever beyond that veil. Only the wisdom of the crested hoopoe and the prudence of the red-feathered robin could lead the remaining 28 back onto the path of righteousness. Ever since, the birds have sung their praise, for without the hoopoe and the robin, silence would have fallen forever. Are those the two that I need to cover? Professor Wright's dressing gown and slippers. It's still snowing outside. Large wardrobe of engraved wood. Like, where's Mrs. What's-her-name? I don't know how to get into that room. It's the only room we haven't been in. The hoopoe and the red-crested robin, was it? The hoopoe and the robin. Red-feathered robin. Black head and orange breast. Black and gray feathers. Black and white wings. Black and yellow beak. Gray breast and brown wings. Long legs. Pale brown breast. Yellowish brown feathers. Red feathers. No, he doesn't want to be held by me ever. Unless it's under his terms.
Per stream.
Unless it's under his terms. His claws stuck in my shirt, Tiger. Why?
Once per stream. He's so happy. He's so happy.
I like how he struggles like this, but if we're sitting on the couch, he's all like, how many times can I thrust my head against you?
He's very unhappy. Oh, I'm sorry. He's so unhappy with Daddy.
Tiger is so big.
I love Daddy.
Bird inside suddenly goes quiet. Now we need to find this hoopoe. What the hell's a hoopoe? Not unless he wants it. Only wisdom of the crested hoopoe and the prudence of the red-feathered robin. So I need to find one with a crest. Yellowish brown feathers. Brown breast. Long legs. Gray breast and brown wings. Black and yellow. Black and white, and a feathered crest. The bird inside suddenly grows quiet. All the birds have suddenly stopped their chittering. It sounds as if there is someone at the door. Okay. So we kind of knew this was going to happen, but the door's been opened. I think it's upstairs. Whoever or whatever it is upstairs. The door's open. Was open. What the fuck? Oh god, Mr. Wright. Where the hell did he come from? The poor man, it looks as if his heart gave out on him. His eyes, my god, they're fixed with an expression of utmost terror. Let me see, his fists are clenched. He's holding on to something. Some kind of stone figurine. He's holding it tightly as if he was protecting it from someone. The figurine is carved beautifully, but appears to be one half of a larger artifact. What has happened to him? I've seen death before, but never has a body left me so ill at ease. I'm trembling. You want your picture? An old wardrobe. A window is open. A cold wind blows into the room. A cheerful scene that would have lifted my heart on any other day. It stands in stark contrast to the tragedy that has befallen this house. There's a thin layer of dust on the coat rack, but not on the coat. That's really weird. This is serious. I must break the news to Kaufman. Of course, the local authorities will have to be informed. So much for doing anything else in there. Kaufman, what's the matter? Kaufman. Do not worry, I've given him a mild sedative. What is going on with Kaufman? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Dr. Armitage. The innkeeper called me because he was worried about your friend. Pleased to meet you. I'm Dr. Wakefield. What are Kaufman's symptoms? Strong coughing, general feebleness, dizziness. I don't have to explain myself to you. You're a psychiatrist. It is too soon yet for a diagnosis. It could be a simple cold, but the sudden onset and severity of his symptoms is certainly a concern. He must be monitored for the next few hours at least. Do not worry, Dr. Wakefield. I will remain here and take care of your friend. Doctor, this is far from my specialty, but do you think it could be something more serious? It is too soon to know. Let us wait and see how his condition develops. Kaufman is asleep. He breathes heavily and looks very pale. Kaufman's coat. An ugly painting. I mean, we're in an inn. Should respect Kaufman's privacy. Should we? No? I just had a thought. What if he's with the playwright group? What if no one did call him? And what if he just took advantage of Kaufman's weakened condition to actually put a sedative into him and now to take, deal with him with whatever they're doing? I don't know if I trust this doctor suddenly. I must leave. Please have someone fetch me if his condition worsens. Do not worry, Dr. Wakefield. I will remain here and take care of your friend. Doesn't sound right. A vertiginous drop. I can see the waves crash relentlessly against the rocks below. I have never heard of some of these words they use in this game. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. These rocks look like the remains of a landslide. You know what? Google. Definition: vertiginous. Causing vertigo, especially by being extremely high or steep. Relates to affecting vertigo. How do you pronounce it?
Vertiginous.
Oh my god, I said it correctly. The roots of this venerable tree tightly grip the rocks that anchor it against the harsh winds. Right, that friend is totes dead. You leave Kaufman alone. We want him alive. An empty wardrobe. Its wood is rotted from long exposure to the sea air. Foundations of the house are heavily damaged and must proceed with utmost care. It could collapse at any time. And that's why we're walking in here. Because we're stupid. This landscape shows the house as it was before the landslide ruined it. The fuck? There's a peculiar indentation in the stone. That's where this goes. Yeah, I can't do it yet. We need to find that path. The roots of this venerable tree tightly grip the rocks that anchor it against the harsh winds. The rocks look like the remains of a landslide. Wait. Didn't the statue say it would open the way in the graveyard or something? I don't remember, but let's check. There was the one tomb that didn't have anything written on it. This one. The compass points to this grave. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to the compass. I forgot. Sure. Oh, hey. There's something buried here. The other half of the stone. An engraved stone, it seems to be only one half of a larger statuette. Joined together, the two pieces form an intricately carved figurine or idol. It is ancient, without a doubt. There's no sarcophagus here. It's triggered some secret mechanism. There's a passage behind the fireplace. It seems to lead into the cliff. This must be the entrance to the underground tunnel. I must go on. There's a note on the floor. I'm wondering if Dr. Wright's family, because that memory loss occurred with his father and his grandmother. I have a feeling that the family has been dealing with this stuff for a very long time. Whatever you find down here, do not stop. That's a little ominous. I mean, he knew what he was leaving behind for someone, because he intentionally left a bunch of clues for someone to pick something up. So Wright was intending for someone to find this. Based on the dream, the direction we had him go, I think, was mostly north. We're supposed to remember the directions we told him. I'm guessing that's what we're supposed to do. But there was a waterfall. I feel like this is back to the entrance. No, but it's a dead end. Some viscous substance. It could be some kind of fungus, or maybe the decomposed remains of an animal. Is that another entrance right there? It looks like it. So's that. Go north. Actual water. This is a part of the cave is blocked by a cave-in, so this is what he blocked. Did he leave anything here? So that's the actual cave-in. We came from there. What's over this way? Nothing. So go this way? I'm getting lost. The fuck? These are human remains. The flesh is gone, but the bones look undisturbed. How long have they lain here? Why on earth did Professor Wright not alert the authorities? I must press on. What possible research could have led to this? I hear a piano. I'm gonna go this way. I think it's the other way, but... the hole goes deep into the wall of the cave. Why is there a piano down here? There's a strange metal device hanging from the ceiling. That's how he was observing him. There's a grand piano placed in the middle of the room. Why are there multiple entrances? It's just a dead end. Wait, was there something back there? No. A strange metal device hanging from the ceiling in here, too. That's why he had all the different knobs. He had all the different channels so he could observe it from all these different locations. Small passage goes into the brick wall. It's too thin to pass through. What is this place? A strange machine. It does not seem to be working anymore. There's a note on the floor. Who has gone will be back not the same, but somehow changed, because that which lurks behind the door waits, and no one that has crossed through can hope to escape its blessing. I must tell Kaufman about all of this. These clothes are toned down to unrecognizable shreds. There's a tag here with two initials, H.A. Is this a fucking doorway? It's a large archway carved on the stone wall of the cave. was that? Part of the wall's stone seemed to have dislodged from it, leaving behind a large, dark hole. What the fuck? The adventure continues in Episode 3. My Dearest Visitor was created thanks to the generous support of players who participated in the crowdfunding campaign. Creepy crawly thing wanted a hug? Yes, it did. There is a bath description by someone named Basement Crusader. Previously on The Last Door. As a necessary step to understanding the mysterious disappearance of Dr. Wakefield's patient, Jeremiah Devitt, the doctor, and his colleague, Johann Kaufmann, visited the manor of Professor Wright. Years before, Wright had been Kaufmann's mentor in the occult, but since then had been afflicted with a mental condition and could remember nothing. They discovered that Wright's research had been funded by the Playwright, the secret organization led by Alexander Dupre. While Kaufmann lay in bed due to a sudden illness, Wakefield followed the clues left by the eccentric Professor Wright, leading to the darkness of an underground labyrinth. There was something waiting down there, alive but imprisoned in the cave. In the deepest chamber of the tunnel, Wakefield met the dreadful result of Professor Wright's final experiment, which had been an attempt to cross the last door using fear as the key. For 3 days you must wait. Who is this supposed to be? Alone amongst these dead stones. This is that HA guy. Only then will you be ready. To complete your journey, Mr. Ashdown. Yep. It's probably like Henry Ashdown, but they're probably going to give him something stupid name like Harvey. Oh my god. I think I can remember. It's terrible screech. But it was not that of an animal. There was something human in it. Desperate cry for forgiveness. He dropped his lantern and ran. Waterfall. They found me on the beach, unconscious, clutching the piece of wood that had saved me from drowning. When at last I awoke, the letter was waiting on my table. Lieber Wakefield, I write this letter in my last moments of lucidity. I have not received word from you since I regained consciousness, but I am confident that you will soon return with information that is crucial to our investigation. The bravery that you demonstrated in the face of these latest discoveries is worthy of my most sincere admiration. I must now ask you for yet more courage. The doctors were unable to determine the cause of my sudden illness, nor have they found a cure. I have not much time left. My greatest regret is that I must abandon you to the difficult tasks that lie ahead. I implore you to persevere, now that we are so close to finding an answer. The professor's documents were filled with references to a place of dark legend. The Crone Meaden, an ancient sanctuary in the island of Ellis Moor. The exact location of the Crone Meaden has been lost, but the professor believed that its secrets may explain why his experiments met with such disastrous results. You must find this place, mein Freund. I do not need to remind you to exercise the utmost discretion. I have complete trust in you. Oh, did he die? Always your friend, Johann Kaufmann. He must have died while he was lost and unconscious. I still think the society or whatever group managed to get involved. With Kaufmann gone, I found myself lost, my life suddenly devoid of meaning. It was as though my friend had written a letter to a person who no longer existed. Weeks passed, maybe months, I did not count the time, but the day came when I realized there was no other option. To honor my friend's memory, I had to keep looking. I had to find Jeremiah Devitt. Wherever he was. Does the main character have a little gay crush on Kaufman? Probably not. I could see the island in the distance, Ellis Moor. He was a friend and a colleague. Season 2, Episode 3, The Reunion. And here we are, the island of Ellis Moor. Thank you very much. Ellis Moor. According to Kaufman's letter, the legendary Crone Meaden can be found here. As Kaufman emphasized, I must exercise discretion. For all I know, the playwright is watching. When will you be back? Tomorrow at first light, probably. I'll be delivering supplies and the mail. I will see you then. As you wish, Dr. Wakefield. No, this game doesn't have to do with any other game. It's just The Last Door is its own thing. It's very Lovecraftian, and I love it. Good evening. Visiting? I hope you enjoy your stay. People are just here. Good evening. My name is Wakefield. I have just arrived on the island. You ought to speak with Lord Dunnan, then. I beg your pardon. Lord Dunnan, you should see him. Good evening. Welcome to Ellis Moor. Excuse me, a visitor. Visitors are most welcome in Ellis Moor. Yes, they are. Creepy, overly happy, and welcoming island is creepy. Looks like the gate has been broken for some time now. Sign reads, The Wisdom of Silence. Checked out the Crooked Moon? No, I know nothing about it. An abandoned wheel, a peculiar cog is attached to it. Based on the cog's workmanship, it looks like it was part of a complex industrial mechanism, but someone has tried to fit it crudely onto that broken bicycle wheel. How on earth did it come to be in a village like this? So obviously we're going to pick it up and take it with us. The windows are open and the light is on. The door is locked. Excuse me, are you Mr. Wakefield? I am. I have a message from Lord Donan. Lord Donan? To our most recent visitor, Mr. Wakefield, it is customary in Ellismore to welcome strangers with hospitality. I should be honored if you would accept this invitation to join me at my manor for dinner and amiable conversation. Your new friend, Lord Donan. Okay. Dear Lord, phone. Why? The Crooked Moon. I'm gonna put it down. I have a small list of stuff that Luna gave last time she was in the stream that I still need to look up. Your parents are weird. Your dad is weird. Faint smell of fish and potatoes is drifting through the shutter. The fish smells slightly rotten. Ew. It's talking to you. What? I said your parents are weird. Your dad is weird. Stop looking butthurt.
You said I smelled rotten.
No, the fish from the house in the game has rotten smelling fish. Go back to the village. I don't feel like I explored this over here. I didn't. Gate leading to the village graveyard is closed and locked. It also doesn't look high enough that you can't just jump over it. The D&D 5e thing on Kickstarter at the moment. Like video game thing? The door is locked.
They always have those.
Yeah, but I would never back that.
I would never back it.
I wouldn't back it only because no matter what its intentions, they can't use D&D in it. Because Solasta wanted to, but they wouldn't let them. Because they're not a big enough thing. They gave Larian Studios the ability to use D&D in there for Baldur's Gate 3 only after Larian Studios had proved themselves with Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. Because apparently Larian Studios has tried in the past prior to that, and they were denied. Well, Dr. Wakefield, you're here on holiday, then. Yes, indeed. I've come to enjoy a rest somewhere far from the stresses of city life. I see. Well, if it's distractions you've come looking for, you've chosen the right time of year for it. These days we celebrate a very special tradition of our kin. Something unique. We call it the Festival of Reunion. This doesn't sound good. None of this sounds good. Fascinating. May I ask, what does it entail? According to tradition, for the next 3 nights, the spirits of reunion leave the confines of the other side and roam the hills of Ellismore. We wear costumes and masks so that the spirits will not recognize us and make us the targets of their mischief. Certain rites take place too. But I should not bore you with the details. You shall have occasion to see for yourself. This entire island is just incorrect right now. An odd mosaic adorns the floor. It depicts 2 snakes biting each other. An exotic blend of black tea. A large statue of a person. It is so eroded by the passage of time it's difficult to tell any specific detail. There are 2 engraved panels on the wall. They appear to be ancient, but I cannot decipher their meaning. The statue is remarkable. May I ask what it represents? It is Lu Lamfada, a hero and a high king of our myths. These panels on the wall represent a classical theme. I cannot seem to place it. They're the panels of the first king of Ellis Moor. In the days of the Druids, we worshipped the great god Lu and his... Lu? And our kings did right by those beliefs. I don't know what the correct pronunciation would be. I'm assuming it's Irish? Scottish? Well, I cannot help noticing this remarkable mosaic. It looks authentic. Yes, it is. Although some historians might disagree, we believe that this manor was built atop an ancient Roman via. In our traditions, the double serpent... Villa, whatever. In our traditions, the double serpent represents a sentinel that protects us from the terrible threat hidden within itself. You seem to be knowledgeable about Ellis Moor's folklore. I should very much like to learn about the island's history in more detail. It is true that we in Islas, I think it's Islas Moor, cleave to the ancient traditions. We haven't lost touch like some of those on the mainland, but I am no expert. If you are really interested, you should talk to Miss Foster. Please forgive my indiscretion, but do you consider yourself a religious man, Dr. Wakefield? No, I do not. You seem so certain. Might I ask why? My only faith is the belief that all phenomena can be explained through rational inquiry. Something else is mere superstition, a result of fear of the unknown. I see. Let us take a walk by the lake. From there we can see the beauty of the island as we talk and be better for it. The marsh in this valley is, for simpletons, a wellspring of frightful tales. The educated among us enjoy the tales as little more than distractions, knowing us safe from these visions. We know these stories to be nothing but superstition. But how can we be so sure that in the dense mist that emanates from the stagnant water we may not find passages to other worlds? What if the wails that drift from the reeds of the darkest of nights are the songs of those from our worst nightmares? Many of the gods that men worship for millennia now will lie buried in the common grave of oblivion. In Islas Moor we keep our traditions alive. Oh, they change just as the times do, but they always keep their essence. These are our roots, Doctor. I must take my leave, as my presence is required to start the rites of reunion. Feel free to continue your walk on your own. The village can be found just beyond those hills. As I mentioned earlier, you may wish to speak with Miss Foster. She is something of a resident expert on Islas Moor's history. She can often be found working late at the school, the building right across from the quay. It has been a pleasure meeting you. Is he just going to leave you out here in the middle of nowhere? Farewell, Dr. Wakefield. It has been a pleasure, Lord Donan. I have a cogwheel. An old barrel lies stranded on the shore. A painted label reads mineral oil. It is sealed. Take it. The hell? These are the costumes? Excuse me. Hello, my name is Wakefield. Hi. What are you drawing on the ground? It's a symbol, not a drawing. A symbol? What does it mean? It's the final truth that'll protect us from the marsh dwellers, but we're not allowed to say its name out loud. The marsh dwellers? Who are they? They're scary. My Aunt Kathleen says they were really bad people. You'd never see them, but you'd hear them in the reeds. They try to take you in there with them. That's why we can't come here alone. We always have to take someone with us. I must go now. Goodbye. Farewell. The costumes are eerily similar to the visions that Devitt had and some of the other characters had of different people dressed up. Like the Mr. Rabbit, Mrs. Snake, Mr. Wolf bit. Wait. The hell was that? Go back. A broken old fence. Well, that's nice. All the villagers are gone. Door's locked. Wait, what? Is that a bottle? A bottle is floating on the water. It's caught in the seaweed just out of reach. I think there's something inside. Bottle's just too far to catch it from here. And being a gentleman, you can't possibly put your feet in the water. No, no, that would be inappropriate. We must find ourselves a stick. Look, sticks. No, no, these are not appropriate sticks. You're not allowed to take these. My God. Door is locked. The graveyard's open. The epitaph on this gravestone is written in Gaelic. The shadows cast by the lanterns only making the characters more mysterious. A small mausoleum. The door has a small slot. I might be able to peer through it. It's gotta be a statue. Inside, a candle provides dim light. I can make out a statue of a hooded man. I can also hear someone whispering. No, I can't die yet, not without knowledge. Is it so terribly unthinkable to truly understand the gods? How can we live only on faith? No, shut up. Knowledge is what I pursue, not faith nor assumptions. No, no man can face death believing there is nothing on the other side. Yes, yes, you are right. Now I understand. The fuck? This man hides his face behind a fox mask. He murmurs something in unison with the others, a muted prayer I cannot quite make out. This woman hides her face behind a bull mask. She murmurs something in unison with the others, a muted prayer I cannot quite make out. I believe they were burying mirrors in a hole in the ground. What a peculiar tradition. Man, his face hidden by a wolf stands in the middle. There's something familiar about him. It's a Lord Donan. This man hides his face behind a deer mask. He murmurs something in unison with the others, a muted prayer I cannot quite make out. This woman hides her face behind a badger mask. I thought it was going to be a bear. She murmurs something in unison. Blah, 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 blah. Your plans got Ted messed up, so you're going to take this to the kitchen and make some ice cream. Do it. Trash bin filled with papers. There's a drawing on one. It's a child's drawing. There seems to be a village, a lake, some sort of creature. That's a dragon. The windows are open, letting a chilly draft inside. They'll dance around the burrow they'll sing. It's cold inside as winter, don't get too close, or else they'll pull you in. Paper with black circles painted on it. Hold up while I get a picture of that, because I have a feeling that may come into play. Oh, what the? There's some kind of worm screw inside, the remains of an insect beside it, and some drawings engraved on the desk. I'll take the drive with me. It may prove itself useful. Still taking a picture of that. No, I don't need that. A shelf of handmade books with unfamiliar titles. Most of them concern strange rites. Picture of a slender woman, apparently a goddess, wearing a black dress and having a murder of crows around her. It's signed with a name. Bad Pakatha. I opened your door, now you have drafts. Can I have this eraser? Good evening, what do I owe the pleasure? I'm a busy woman, as you can see. My name is Dr. Wakefield. I have come to Eyeless Moor to rest for a while. Lord Donnan said that I might find you here. Have you met Lord Donnan? It has been so long since I have seen him here in the village. I hope he is well. Cadme le Failty. I don't know how to pronounce this. Dr. Wakefield, welcome to Eyeless Moor. Lord Donnan. So have you not seen Lord Donnan lately? As far as I know, no one has seen him since, well, it's been a few weeks. Now that the festival has started, maybe he'll be motivated to join us in the village. Wait, what? Did something happen a few weeks ago? Oh, sure, it was truly terrible. Kieran, his only child, disappeared without a trace. He went off to play in the hills and just vanished. No one has seen him since. Good lord, and you say he's not been found yet. How is that possible? We all searched the island, but he was nowhere to be found. What can you tell me about Kieran's disappearance? Just that he was a restless child who loved exploring deserted areas. You might learn more from his classmates. His desk was in the back corner. The one where all the crap was. What can you tell me about this curious festival? Well, it takes place when the constellation Reunion is visible in the sky. On those nights, dark things and spirits ride the winds and travel across the hills. As you may have already seen, at sunset the villagers don masks. They do so that the spirits will not know them or carry them away to the depths of their underground caves. There was a group of masked people at the graveyard. Was that part of the festival? Yes, that was one of the first rites of the reunion, a very important one. As I said, people dress up to protect themselves from those that will come, but this is not enough. Since the mirrors they have looked into while changing know their identities, they bury them next to the old Fearnog. The roots of this tree grow in both worlds at the same time, so they keep the witness mirrors safe. That's interesting. Lord Donnan said you are an expert on the island's folklore. He said that, did he? Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert now, but I've lived here in Eyeless Moor longer than most, and I've heard my fair share of the stories about the other side and its people. Might I ask you a question, Miss Foster? Yes, of course. Do you know the meaning of the word Cronemeaden? Yes, it's a very unusual word, very much indeed. The Cronemeaden is the sanctuary of the Crooked One. It's a cursed place, the dwelling of the devil. I recall it from the tales that I heard as a child. Of course, our elders only made up those tales to scare us and protect us from harm. Would you tell me the story of the Cronemeaden? All right. There's a hole in the ground up in the hills not too far from the village, a hole so dark and deep you'd not see the end. Folks around here believe there lies an old serpent at its depths, ravenous for flesh, the Crooked One. Long ago our ancestors threw livestock into the pit in hope of placating the Crooked One's hunger, though that tradition has not been practiced for some time, so perhaps it would be best if you did not approach the hole. It is said that the last heir of the Ladesend once defied the Crooked One by approaching the rim with an iron amulet in her hand. It is general knowledge that beings from the other side detest iron, so the cursing and the shouting of the young Ladesend received no immediate answer. But a few nights later, the Ladesend house was consumed in a horrific blaze, putting an end to the old family. I must leave now. It's been a pleasure. The pleasure was mine. Enjoy your time on Eyeless Moor. Is anything I'm carrying like made of iron? Worm screw. It's a piece of a large mechanism. Industrial cogwheel that I found lying discarded in the village. Wee woo, yeah. Can't help it. We had a wee woo in the back. Child's drawing. Let's see if I can keep going. What about this? Still locked. Door is locked. Hi, Shads. Okay. An empty doghouse. Nothing has slept here in many years. An old rowboat filled with stale water. Something sticking out of the water. Get it. A worn-out umbrella. It doesn't look like it will rain anytime soon, but there might be a purpose for it. Getting that bottle. A worn-out umbrella. It is unusable? Yeah. Oh, I thought that door was open suddenly or something. Fuck. There we go. A paper's rolled up inside the bottle. Gods remain silent as the fog settles. We may look for the king beyond the clouds, but find the queen with a fiery crown. What? A bottle tumbled and frosted by its time in the sea. There was that one barrel with the mineral oil. I bet we can get mineral oil in this bottle. Don't know if it'll just let us, but... Pumpkin shirt, nice. Hi. Thank you. We have pumpkin shirt. Damn it. Screw. Damn it. Cog. Oh, what? The cog is not sharp enough to open the barrel. Apparently it was the right thought process, though. I'm wondering if the cog can be sharpened to open the barrel, though. The only other place I can think of going is Dunham Manor. It seems to be Athena, goddess of wisdom, war, and the arts. She's dressed in armor, seemingly ready for war. Statue appears to be very old. Its appearance suggests that it could date back to ancient Rome. Let's go that way. It's a safety bicycle. I still do not understand how they managed to keep balance with such small wheels. It looks quite new, but its chain is broken. So of course you take the chain. I may find a way to fix this chain. Why are you trying to fix the chain? No one wants you to fix this chain. Bicycle wheels won't rotate without a working chain. The noise of the swing gently being moved by the wind is the only thing breaking the silence. The mill wheel. Meal wheel? The mill wheel. Something is preventing it from spinning. It's on the inside, probably. A strange mechanism runs from the mill wheel shaft into the building. It seems to be lacking a small piece. Cog is way too big to fit between the gears. Looks like I need something smaller and thinner. You mean like the screw? Now the water wheel is working. Meals on wheels. The meal wheel. Kiernan's playroom is written on the door in hand-painted letters. The door is locked. Now the water wheel's working. Seems like the mechanism works properly now. The door is locked. The manor appears to be dark and empty. What's the chance that there's a key or something in his desk? I think I already went into his desk, I thought. Pixel hunting time. There's been a semi-decent, like, in general, we haven't had to pixel hunt too heavily. I tend to know or have an idea where to go. But every now and then, I'll get stuck on something and we'll just be, like, not sure where to go. There's nothing else of interest. A paper with black circles painted on it. They'll dance around the burrow they'll sing. It's cold inside as winter, don't get too close or else they'll pull you in. What about up here? Hills. Can I explore the hills even more? Okay. So that way's just that. Did you know... Oh, damn it. Did you know Kiernan? Were you Kiernan's friends? He was nice, but he didn't want to play much. He was mostly for going in the hills by himself. Was Kieran not afraid of the marsh dwellers? No, he said he had seen them and that they were not as scary as Aunt says. I think that's why they took him. You think the marsh dwellers took him? Yes, for sure. Before he disappeared, he said he found a treasure, a disc with a beautiful drawing. He took it from the old house in the hills. Maybe the marsh dwellers wanted it. I must go now. Goodbye. Farewell. Excuse me? Stupid little brat doesn't want to talk. Okay, yeah, there was another spot. She said not to go close to this, but... A huge hole lies in front of me. An ominous, chilling draft issues from within that sends shivers down my spine. It makes me very uneasy. To a superstitious mind, it might seem like a passage to another world. This place appears to be the remnants of an ancient temple to some unknown deity. Oh, you've got snow too, Bornin? We don't have any snow over here. But I heard, like, Sci-Fi mention in Discord that she got snow. And I did hear that certain parts of the country were getting snow for Halloween. Frickin' weird. Village. I don't know who to talk to unlock the next area. Empty doghouse. Nothing has slept here in many years. No matter the strength of the structure, all things succumb to time, but whether it was the ages or something else that ravaged this place, I cannot say. Nothing else. Water is so muddy that I can barely see the bottom of the trough. It's not really much of a trough if it's a boat. Born in Stowe Falls, goddamn. Yeah, it's chilly over here, but I like the cold, so I have the window behind me open. I must go. I must leave now. The pleasure was mine. Enjoy your time on Islas Moor. Fuck. Shelf of handmade books with unfamiliar titles, most of them concern strange rites. What if I do a drawing on her? I found this picture. Was it made by one of your students? Yes, this was painted by poor Kieran. What would you say it represents? Things that were familiar to him. The village, his home, but these other shapes I do not know. You could ask one of his classmates. They should be able to tell you more about it. There we go. That's our cue. We have to go and find those kids in the hills and then show it to them. Hills. I'm gonna show it to the quiet kid. Maybe it'll freak him out. Kid doesn't seem interested. Damn it. I found this drawing at the school. Is it yours? No. That? No, Kieran painted it a long time ago. The drawing is Kieran's. There could be a clue here as to his whereabouts. What is this? That's the crooked one. They say a villager defied it and the next day her house was burned to the ground. They say it was the crooked one paying her back. That's the house where Kieran found the treasure. Do you know how to get there? Sure, it's easy. Oof. Sweet. Well, that opened our next location. Thought I was going to be wandering for a bit going, I don't know what to do. The fuck is with the straw man? A wicker statue sporting a pair of animal horns. The twigs look fresh. This must be the house that the child was telling me about. Kieran was here just before his disappearance. Metal trapdoor. It seems to lead to some sort of basement. I'm gonna go back out front first real quick. We don't have a no like locations in chat thing anymore. That's been gone for a long time. As long as you're not giving like specific address, like you're fine. A mailbox. This is why I came back out, in case I found something. The envelope is very old, it's stamped returned, and there's a letter inside. I love how the mailman probably came over to the house, put the return letter back in the mailbox as it was on the floor, and just walked away. My dear cousin, I am doing poorly. I would ask that you not call upon me here in Islas Moor, not now or nor ever again. Please keep grandmother's ring. I believe that she would have wanted you to have it. Yours faithfully, Brigid. There's something else in the envelope. It's the ring. An iron ring. Fuck yes. The ring fits perfectly on the chain. I'm sorry to use Bridget's grandmother's ring in such a manner. Still, maybe now I can get the bicycle to work. It's really weird. There's nothing else here. You never give your ad of your city or only state. You don't want random visitors. Yeah, seriously. It's like being vague with your location because then it's mysterious sounding. God damn it, Wolver. I think this basement might have once housed a library. It looks like it was not burned as badly as the rest of the house. Even so, little here remains intact. I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I am back. And there's not even a body. I can't even find the body. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, continue. The table has been upended. An ornate chest that's inside untouched by the fire was probably opened long after the inferno died down. There's a diary inside. Wonder if this is where he found the treasure. It's signed Bridget Ladesend. Several pages towards the end are missing. 7th of August, 1801. Words cannot express the gratitude that I feel for Aunt Mary's request. May her dear soul rest in peace. This house is just what I needed to still my nerves after the exhausting pace of life in Dublin. 10th of September, 1801. I would not have thought to find such a remarkable library hidden away in the basement. It includes several magnificent tomes on the most picturesque customs of our land. 23rd September 1801. I found Aunt Mare's diaries next to an odd iron disc, but the contents of the diaries were appalling. What could have happened to that dear old mare would write such things? So Kieran found an iron disc. The damnable place that she speaks of, I must know if it really exists. I am resolved to investigate our family's crypt. It would be prudent to wait until dusk before traveling to the Northern Cape so as not to be seen. 25th of September, 1801. The abbey was in such a state of decay that it was nearly impossible to find the mural painting in the dark. Fortunately, a dim light happened to shine through a gap in a wall, illuminating the face of the sentinel. I believe Aunt Mare's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. 10th of October, 1801. Is this the legacy of the Ladesend? I can stand to bear it no longer. Fire will put an end to this blasphemy and cleanse the land of our family's curse. And should the fire prove insufficient, may this testimony serve as warning. Miss Ladesend must have found something abhorrent in her family's crypt. If I could find out what it was, I may learn more about the Kronmeiden. My intuition tells me that I must act tonight, or else it will be too late. It's the old Abbey. Looks like some sort of makeshift bed. Was Kieran sleeping in this terrible, lonely place? The side of the basement seems to have collapsed during the fire.
Fire truck.
I know. Well, there's no fire trucks in this. We're in like the late 1800s.
It's so really weird that you said fire truck drove by.
Remains of the book scorched by the fire. Most of the pages are ashy or blackened, so the text is illegible. Common carpenter's brace. A tool like this would be used for drilling holes in wood. I'm closing the window so I can't hear any more sirens for a bit. Give me that. Could be useful later. Oh, drill a hole in the barrel. The fuck? The wicker statue is burning. Who did this? Go back to the hills. I may be able to drill a hole in the barrel using this brace. The barrel is filled with oil. Bottle. Yes. Now that there's a hole in the barrel, I just have to push the bottle in a bit, and I managed to fill it with oil. So now I have a bottle of oil. Are the kids still here? It's a drawing of some sort of spiked circle. Is it the sun or something else? That was outside the hole. The child that I spoke with earlier seems to have left his mask here. There's a ribbon hanging from it. The ribbon has flown away. Go get the ribbon. This is the ribbon that was hanging from the mask. You dumbass. Couldn't walk down here earlier. I can see a lighthouse in the distance. I mean, I could see it on the map too, but okay, sure. I bet there's gonna be a lantern there. That's the ribbon that was snatched by the wind. A red ribbon. I think it was part of the child's mask that was left behind in the hills. Sure. May have provided the light that Bridget spoke of in her library, but the lamp is off. I wonder if it has been abandoned. Water the marsh is murky and dark. Wait, hold on. What about up here? Nope, same thing. I'm gonna go to the top of the hill with the hole and see if there's anything different. This symbol is the exact same as what's up there. Nope. Does it want you to wear the mask now? Because we can't wear the mask. The mask is just part of a superstitious ritual. I don't think it has anything to do with what's actually going on. Or what needs to go on. Which episode is this? Is this 3 or 4? I don't remember. I think this is 4? Is this the end? No, I think this is chapter 3. I don't remember. What a ghastly custom. This wicker man is in the shape of a hangman. This tree looks like it's been dead for a long time. This is episode 3? Jeez. I think there's a 4th episode after this. No one is answering. A strongly built lighthouse. It looks like it's in very good condition despite the thousands of storms that it must have withstood. Got a walkthrough open? Okay, good. Just in case. So far, we haven't had that many problems, so... No one's answering. There's someone inside. Someone is inside. Maybe I can make some kind of noise to attract their attention. Throw the cog at their glass window. It's a dim light inside. A wide copper pipe runs from the tower to the ground. It's covered in salt and seaweed. Sounds like it attracted someone's attention downstairs. What if they're gonna come with a gun? Yay, hello. Good evening, would you happen to be the lighthouse keeper? My name is Wakefield. A stranger, and what would he want from me? I'm a visitor to Islas Moor. This lighthouse caught my eye, and since it's dark, you thought it to be abandoned. Well, it's not, even though I can barely see a thing. This is my house. Why is the lighthouse lamp not lit? Is it not dangerous for the ships? Do not let it concern you. Many years ago, the sea lanes were altered to avoid this coast. Now it's rare indeed to see a ship in these waters. After the accident, the lighthouse was never repaired. Was there a failure in the lamp's mechanism? Precisely that. One stormy night, I suddenly heard a strong noise up in the light room. The clockwork mechanism had stopped working, the lamp was off. I'd never seen such a failure like that. I could not get the lighthouse working again. You said you had an accident? What happened? I was checking the lenses, because the failure looked so strange and I was worried. All of a sudden, the light must have turned off. I was blinded and can see nothing but fleeting shapes ever since. Has nobody else tried to fix the lamp since? No, no one in the village is interested. For them, the more isolated Islas Moor is, the better. They do not care about ships or accidents, especially Lord Donnan. He sees anything coming from outside the island as a threat. Well, since when? I understand. Do you know anything about the disappearance of Lord Donnan's son? A tragedy it was, a strange one, but a tragedy nonetheless. What was so strange about Kieran's disappearance? I just find it a bit suspicious that it happened so close to the reunion. It's too easy to be keeping secrets during the festival, being how everyone is afraid of leaving the village those nights. What do you mean? Look, folks here are too gullible. They'll do anything to protect themselves from their strange fears. They'll not eat corn, nor drink milk, or they'll dig graves for their mirrors, and of course they'll avoid standing near a fearnog too long because, though the fiends cannot touch the tree, they're attracted to the smell of its resin. But surely it's all nonsense. Look, it's really easy to prove it all wrong. Just don't follow the rituals. You're a stranger to our ways, but have you seen any of the things I mentioned? Well, I did see a group of people in the village burying mirrors. Exactly. What do you think that would happen if they unburied those mirrors? That a band of goblins would come out of the marshes to steal them. Nothing but nonsense. What of Kieran's disappearance, then? Well, I'd admit, I'm not sure what happened to the boy, but one thing I'm sure of. This festival of reunion is nothing but a farce, and it would be just so easy to prove it. Might to go upstairs and see the light room, even though the lamp is off, as she'd like to take a view of the surrounding countryside. Well, I do not think you will see anything, really, but if you are so interested, yes, I guess you may. Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. Now I'm gonna look around all your shit. A drip of water left unchucked has ruined the mantle and collected into a small pool. A few logs and cords of firewood. The ceiling is stained with humidity. Root beer ice cream. You made a delicious sheep pie and ice cream out of a natural root beer. Nice. Small stove hardly manages to warm such a spacious room. Portrait of a bearded ship's captain done in oils. The varnish has darkened his features considerably. I should like to visit the light room now, if I may. Yes, yes, you already have my permission. Root beer is made with cane sugar, anise, licorice, vanilla, and yucca. That sounds decent. I don't know what yucca tastes like. I know I've had yucca before, but not in a sweet sense. The lighthouse's lamp, surrounded by 8 large lenses, it is off. The clockwork mechanism that causes the lamp's reflector to spin, however, I think that something is missing. It could do with some oiling as well. Cogwheel! Cog was the missing piece of the mechanism. I've replaced it. However, the mechanism is still too rusty to move. Oil! There's a little hole in the tank and the oil is leaking. The mechanism will not work properly unless I fix it. He was talking about resin. Now I can oil the mechanism without worrying about it leaking. Really? It's really weird. Cog was the missing piece of the mechanism. It's been replaced and the mechanism has been well oiled. It was easy to wind and now it's back to life. Looks like the lighthouse's electric lamp battery slot. Looks like the lamp is lit by some sort of electric switch. However, the battery is flat. Perhaps I could find a way to recharge the battery. Electrical mechanism that's used to store energy. Its upper part looks like some kind of dynamo. It seems to need charging. Where the hell would you charge that? Yeah, the ribbon was a very weird fix. But sure, whatever. I keep thinking salt water for the battery, but you know what? I have a feeling it has something to do with that water wheel. Tree looks like it has been dead for a long time. Just out of curiosity. Don't hit it. Do not need to make more noise. Ugh. Bike? I can't... Oh, the bike. No, yeah, because I have the chain fixed. I don't want to take that chain and put it there. It's a chain with an iron piece. So you remember the lady's story where she said someone from the Lane said clan or whatever the else had some sort of iron that they brought? That would have been Bridget's family ring. Is this not where I got it? Where the frick did I come from for the bike? I don't remember. The fuck is the bike? Where the fuck is it? Somewhere over here. I think it's this way. Yeah, it's in here. The back part of the school. Oh, no. I need to go to the manor. Guess it is that it has something to do with the bike. No, you're probably right. Because there's no other reason for me to repair the bike as far as I know. Go back to Dunnan Manor. Bike. The tires are too threadbare. I don't see how I can ride it safely, but at least the chain rotates. What was that sound? Now that the bike is fixed, if I attach one of the cogs to the battery's dynamo, I may be able to provide it with a charge. Managed to charge the battery by attaching the dynamo to the bicycle's cog. Kieran's playroom. Door is locked. I have to take this to Lighthouse first. What? Roman statue lies shattered on the ground. To destroy such an ancient statue, could this really be part of the festival? The Roman statue's been thrown down and replaced with a wicker one. You're not changing out of your orange PJ pants with black hats on them and t-shirt that says "This is my Halloween costume." Hey. I don't know why he's leaving the front door open. He's just sitting there and watching the fire. This is what you do before TV. Watch the fire, read books, that kind of thing. Oh, what am I doing? Put this back. Hopefully the battery has enough of a charge to keep the lighthouse lit for a few hours. I did what you couldn't do! Cannot be. I never thought I'd hear the rhythm of my beloved lighthouse working again. You don't know how grateful I am. For years I've longed to hear those marvelous sounds. Memories of better times. Thank you for the pleasant conversation. I must go. This wicker man has been set on fire too. Who keeps doing this? I'm wondering if... Can I look out and see anything now? The thick layer of mist covers the sea out there. Is every window like that? Lighthouse is working properly again. With luck, its light will now help me find the mural in the old abbey. Oh. You needed it for the old abbey. I haven't even gone to the abbey yet. I was going to go to it next. My inventory is empty. If I had gone to the abbey, it probably would have been too dark. The rope gave way just as I passed. Curiosity, I have a feeling it's not on fire yet. Okay. I don't think that one will be on fire until we get inside that mill house. Old Abbey. The wicker statue stands like a silent guard. Its presence makes me uncomfortable, as though I have trespassed on forbidden grounds. I love that visual of the lighthouse. It's great. The hell? Oh, there we go. The light has revealed a mural painting on the stones, just as it did for Bridget nearly a century ago. According to the diary, the light from the lighthouse revealed the eyes of the sentinel. Yeah, it's right there. A pair of evil eyes seem to glitter in the dark. The mouth of the sentinel is wide open. There's the spike thing. What is that? Oh, it's the columns. I don't understand. I think it's just the eyes. A pair of evil eyes seem to glitter in the dark. I don't know what to do here. Mouth of sentinel's wide open. I think I'm missing something out of my inventory I'm supposed to use on this. The dome appears to be of Roman origin. It's in better condition than the other ruins. The wicker statue's got beef. This must be the house the child was telling me about. Kieran was here before his disappearance. Nothing else here. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. And I think I need to use it in the Abbey. Remains of books scorched by fire. Most pages are ashy or blackened, so they're illegible. Table has been upended. Library, it acquires those Empire's diaries next to an odd iron disc. A damn old place. Oh, we need the iron disc. If resolved to investigate our family's crypt, it would be prudent to wait until dusk before traveling to the Northern Cape. Abby was in such a that it was nearly impossible to find the mural painted in the dark. Fortunately, dim light happened to shine through a gap in the wall, illuminated the face of the sentinel. I believe Aunt Mare's iron disc is needed to open the secret passage. We need that iron disc. The iron disc was found by the kid. The only place I can think of where the iron disc would be in the kids' playroom. Or the play area. So back up to Dunnan's Lodge. Or Manor. But how the hell to get inside there, I don't know. There's gotta be a way. I mean, obviously there's a way. Door is locked. Anything else over here? No? Is there the likelihood of anything in the wheel? Water wheel's working. Seems the mechanism works properly now. Kieran's playroom. Door is locked. Alright, what am I missing? Wolver is the one with a walkthrough open. I'm missing something from somewhere. Wondering if it's back at the lighthouse. Nothing part of this that got broken, right? Did you get a mirror? Oh, dig it back up from the grave? No, I didn't. I didn't even think of that. But the lighthouse keeper, he did sit there and say, what do you think would happen if he just dug up one of the mirrors again? I guess that was his hint of, go fucking dig up a mirror. I'm not sure about this. In the middle of the graveyard stands an old adder tree, which the locals call a fearnog. Many lanterns hang from it. I do not know for what purpose. Well, he dug them up again. That's all he did. He just dug them up again. What was that? The fuck? Mirrors are completely shattered. Why would that masked man do this? Is he going to, like, murder everyone in the village? It seems to be heading east. Chimkin. That's not a chimkin. That's like a dragon mask or something. It's open. Kieran? An ornate lever is built into the wall. The fuck? The fuck? A painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents an old lady. Okay, they're mad. They're dolls. Painted man-sized wooden doll. It represents a king. A doll's theater lamp spinning around. Celestial bodies made out of paper. I see that thing next to the king. Wait. Let's see if we can grab it first. It's not letting me. That's not human. It's a Chinese dragon mask. The stranger's mask is lying on the floor. Something is underneath the mask. It's an iron disc. An old iron disc. A drawing of a spiked circle is engraved on it. What? Its hollow eyes bore into me. I clicked that too fast. Its hollow eyes bore into me. I can hear something wandering in the dark. I can see a deformed shadow in there, writhing and fidgeting. I cannot get any closer. Drawing of spiked circles engraved on it. I'm leaving. Is that Kieran? Does Kieran somehow go beyond the veil and become transformed into something else? They did say that sometimes people came back and they weren't themselves. I thought it always meant mentally, but what if Kieran came back and he wasn't himself, period? Egad, now the statue's burning too. Is someone following me? No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all normal. It's all normal. Don't worry about it. Old Abby.